وقلنا حاش لله ما هذا بشرا إن هذا إلا ملك كريم قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه ولقد راودته عن نفسه فاستعصم ولئن لم يفعل ما آمره ليسجنن وليكون من الصاغرين قال رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه وإلا تصرف عني كيدهن أصب إليهن وأكن من الجاهلين فاستجاب له ربه فصرف عنه كيدهن إنه هو السميع العليم ثم بدا لهم من بعد ما رأوا الآيات ليسجننه حتى حين. Inshallah, today we're starting from ayah number 30 of Surah Yusuf, and in the last lesson we learned how the wife of the Aziz tried to seduce Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, and how at the end of the story he tried to escape, and in trying to escape his shirt was ripped from the back, and a person came and testified and adjudicated between them that if his shirt is ripped from the back, then he is telling the truth. If it's ripped from the front, then he is lying and she is telling the truth. And ultimately it was found that the shirt was ripped from the back, so the innocence of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was accepted and proven, and the guilt of the wife of the Aziz, the governor, was also proven. So ultimately what the husband said to Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was that stay away from this, turn away from this, and do not give it much thought, bury this, basically is another way of saying it. And he told his wife that innaki kunti min al khati'in, that you are the one who is the wrongdoer. And basically the attempt was to try to bury the whole situation, because obviously the person's honor is at stake and the person's reputation is at stake, the household's reputation is at stake, so they don't want this word to get out. But unfortunately what happened was, and this is usually the case with scandalous things, is that word ultimately does get out, and this is exactly what happened. And in doing so, what happened was that women of the community, they started discussing this issue amongst themselves. And the initial reaction of the women was that how could a woman with the status of the wife of the Aziz, how could she fall so low as to try to seduce her own slave? So this is where the story starts from today, and inshallah we're going to continue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَالَ نِسْوَةٌ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ, the women of the city, they said. And the word niswa is actually the same as nisa. Nisa basically means women. Niswa also means women. And this is one of those strange words in Arabic that it doesn't have a singular. The singular of nisa is imra'a. Completely different word. Imra'a is the singular, imra'atani, two women, but the plural is nisa or niswatun. Okay, so it's a very unique word, and there are very, very few words like that in the Arabic language, that the singular is different and the plural is completely different. So the women in the city, they started saying, Imra'atul Azizi turawidu fataha an nafsi. The wife of the Aziz, the wife of the governor, she tried to seduce her own slave towards herself. قَدْ شَغَفَهَا حُبًّا. Indeed, love has covered her. The word shaghaf, it is from the word shighaf. Shighaf means something that covers something, and I believe the same word is used in Urdu. But in this case, the shighaf of the heart is a thin layer which covers the entire portion of the heart. So when the word shaghaf is used, it means that love has completely covered her heart, just like this cover of the heart, like this shighaf. Similarly, love basically made her fall so low as to seduce her own slave. So this is the wording of the women that are talking now. So قَدْ شَغَفَهَا حُبًّا, love has completely covered her and she has basically fooled her. إِنَّا لَنَرَاهَا فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Indeed, we regard her as being in open misguidance. So women basically are talking, gossiping amongst themselves, and this is the habit of women, unfortunately, that they tend to gossip a lot about other women, especially about other women, and especially when the woman has some kind of a status and she is more respected in society than them, then they tend to gossip even more than in normal circumstances. And obviously this is the wife of the king, the wife of the leader, and they were taking an opportunity to try to bring her down because of their jealousy towards her. The word aziz in Arabic, according to some Mufassirin, it is from the word al-ardul azaz, and it refers to that type of land, that type of earth which is difficult to tread upon. It is difficult to walk upon such a land. So al-aziz, meaning the leader, he is difficult to tread upon, he is difficult to bring down. That's why he is called aziz. So when these kinds of situations happen, people try to take an opportunity to take the leadership down, and we see that all the time with politicians, presidents, and we have the elections going on right now. So each time some scandal comes out, one candidate is trying to publicize it as much as possible so that the other one's poll numbers go down and the other one is not voted for. So this is exactly what happened with these ladies. They are talking, they are jealous of this the woman, and therefore they want to say as much bad as possible about her, because they are seizing this opportunity to say bad things about her and scandalous things about her. فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ بِمَكْرِهِنَّ, when she heard about their devious plotting. So makr means that to plot in secret and to talk about in secret and to discuss things in secret while the other party is not present. So this is exactly why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala referred to it as makr, because it was not just a discussion. It was not a sincere debate that was going on, that okay, we need to try to help her out and make sure that she's not going down the wrong path. It was indeed just women gossiping, trying to bring her down and being jealous of her and taking this opportunity to do whatever they could to damage her reputation. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala referred to it as makr. So when Zulaykha heard about the makr, arsalat ilayhinna, she sent for them. Meaning she called everybody, she made an appointment and an appointed date, and she prepared a sitting place for them. A whole gathering where there are pillows and everything, and they could be relaxed, and she prepared food for them. أعتدت لهن أرسلت إليهن وأعتدت لهن متكأ, and she prepared for them muttaka. Muttaka is from the word ittika, and it means to lean on something. And possibly the word takiya in Urdu, it is probably from the same word. Okay, takiya, pillow, it is from taki'a. Taki'a, it means to lean on something. So she prepared for them a leaning place, a relaxing place, so that they could come and relax there. وَأَعْتَدَتْ لَهُنَّ مُتَّكَأً وَآتَتْ كُلَّ وَاحِدَةٍ مِّنْهُنَّ سِكِّينًا, and she gave each one of them a knife. And where there's a knife, obviously there's anticipation of food. There is fruit, food, whatever it was that was prepared for them. Each one of them was given a knife. So they all relaxed. They started cutting the fruit or whatever it was. They started cutting it, and then at that point she told Yusuf alayhi salam, "Ukhruj alayhinna," wa qalat ikhruj alayhinna, meaning go out in front of them. So this was the most amazing thing that happened. فَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَهُ أَكْبَرْنَهُ وَقَطَّعْنَ أَيْدِيَهُنَّ. When they saw them, when all of these women saw Yusuf alayhi salam, أَكْبَرْنَهُ. Akbarnahu means that they had heard of his beauty. They had heard that he was very handsome, but Akbarnahu means that he even exceeded their expectations in the beauty that he had. Akbarnahu from the word kabir, to be greater. So they regarded him as greater than they had anticipated and they had thought he would be. Akbarnahu wa qatta'na aydiyahun, and they cut their hands. And the word qatta'na is from the word qatta'a yuqatti'u, means from the bab taf'il, and one is qata'a. Qata'a means to cut. To cut, so you cut, it's called qata'a. But qatta'a, it means to cut and to keep on cutting. A person is basically so hypnotized that he doesn't realize. It's like under anesthesia, doesn't feel anything. So these women, they are looking at the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salam, and they are so hypnotized that they keep on cutting their hands and they don't even realize what's going on. This is the wording used in the Quran. قَطَّعْنَا أَيْدِيَهُمْ. They kept on cutting their hands continuously and they didn't stop. وَقُلْنَا حَاشَ لِلَّهِ مَا هَذَا بَشَرًا. And they said, this is حَاشَ لِلَّهِ, it's an exclamation type of thing, like a person says Subhanallah. So حَاشَ لِلَّهِ, this is impossible. This is a wording. حَاشَ لِلَّهِ, this is impossible. مَا هَذَا بَشَرًا, this is not a human being. مَا هَذَا بَشَرًا إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا مَلَكٌ كَرِيمٌ. This is indeed nothing but a noble angel. So basically a person, if he says that, if they had said that he's so handsome, he's so beautiful, okay, so as a human, one person's beautiful person or handsome person does not look beautiful to somebody else. As the saying goes in English, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to their comparison not to any other human being, just to make sure that people do not assume that their thinking of Yusuf alayhi salam was simply from their perspective. Their thinking of Yusuf alayhi salam was from their perspective, and he was handsome in their eyes, but maybe in other people's eyes he could not be handsome because they have a different kind of standard for beauty. So different countries have different standards for beauties, right? For example, in many African countries, it is preferred that a woman is heavier, and in this country and in our countries, it is preferred that a woman is lighter or thinner. So different people have different attitudes and standards for beauty. So because they did not want this perception to take place, they compared him not with any other human being, but they compared him to an angel. They said, this is not even a human. This is an angel, a noble angel that we are seeing in front of us. It's not a human being. Now Zulaykha, she sees what's going on and she's kind of amused that, okay, you were behind my back talking about me and saying these bad things about me, trying to blame me and destroy my reputation. Now look what's happening to you. You've cut off your own hands and you don't even realize what's going on. قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه. She said that this is the thing that you were blaming me for. You were blaming me for this thing. Now you saw him just one time and I've been with him for so many years, and you are blaming me for falling in love with him. What about you? So how can you blame me when you've seen him one time and this is your situation? What do you think is going through my mind when I am interacting with him and dealing with him daily on a day-to-day basis? قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه. This is the thing that you were blaming me about. وَلَقَدْ رَاوَدتُّهُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ فَاسْتَعْصَمَ. And now when she sees that attitude of the women, she said, yes, I did try to seduce him. فَاسْتَعْصَمَ, and he saved himself. فَاسْتَعْصَمَ, he saved himself. And now what has happened, again, now she sees that all of the women are in the same situation as she's in, and she is not to be blamed for the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salam. She has now an added incentive to go back and try one more time. So what does she say? وَلَئِن لَمْ يَفْعَلْ مَا آمُرُهُ لَيُسْجَنَنَّ وَلَيَكُونًا مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. If he does not do what I am ordering him, then most certainly he will be imprisoned, and most certainly he'll be from among the disgraced people. So again, she's threatening Yusuf alayhi salam that, okay, I am still in love with you, and I'm still interested in you, and if you don't do what I want to do, then you will be imprisoned. I'm going to put you in prison and make you disgraced, and I'm going to make you suffer. وَلَيَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. Now, if in that situation, just imagine how a regular human being would be. Rather than going to prison, a person would say, okay, first of all, like I mentioned last week, to be in that type of a situation as a human being and to prevent oneself from falling into sin, it takes a lot of iman and a lot of taqwa and a lot of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned that there are 7 kinds of people that will be underneath the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the Day of Judgment. One of them is رَجُلٌ دَعَتْهُ إِمْرَأَةٌ ذَاتَ مَنْصَبٍ وَجَمَالٍ فَقَالَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ. Such a man whom is called by a woman who has status and a position in society, and she is beautiful, and she calls him and he says simply, I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That person will get a place underneath the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يَوْمَ لَا ظِلَّ إِلَّا ظِلُّ, on the day where there will be no shade except the shade of the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So just think, now on top of that, she's threatening him with imprisonment, and now how a person might say to himself, okay, now at least I will have an excuse in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the Day of Judgment, and let me do it just to get away from this situation and not to be imprisoned. But still, this was not enough for him. What does Yusuf alayhi salam say? He says, Rabbi as-sijnu ahabbu ilayya mimma yad'unani ilay. He says, oh my Lord, the prison is more beloved to me than what they're calling me towards. The prison is more beloved to me than what they're calling me towards, meaning a disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُنَّ أَصْبُ إِلَيْهِنَّ وَأَكُمْ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. And he still felt, even though he was talking with such conviction, he was still afraid that he would slip up. He says that if, O Allah, you do not remove from me their plotting and their planning, asfu ilayhin, from the word saba yasfu, it means to atashawwaqu ilayhin, meaning I will fall prey to my desire, I may succumb to the situation that I am in, asfu ilayhin wa akum min al jahilin, and I will become amongst the jahil people, amongst the wrongdoers, amongst the ignorant people, by doing something which is completely against the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, he is still afraid of himself as a human being. فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ. So he was sincere in his dua. Yusuf alayhi salam, he was sincere in his dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected him. How did that happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ فَصَرَفَ عَنْهُ كَيْدَهُنْ. His Lord, he accepted his dua, and he turned away from him their plotting. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected him. إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Indeed, he is as-Sami', all hearing, eternally hearing, and al-Alim, all knowing and eternally knowing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heard his dua and accepted his dua. But what was the form of the acceptance of the dua? And this is something to pay attention to, that sometimes the dua is accepted and it's not, on the surface, it seems like that I am going through the most difficult time in my life, but really Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is accepting a dua and making things in the future easy for him. So sometimes the acceptance of a dua is not necessarily something that is pleasing to a person, and yet he doesn't know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has planned for him. So how is the dua accepted? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ثُمَّ بَدَا لَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا رَأَوُا الْآيَاتِ لَيَسْجُنُنَّهُ حَتَّى حِينٍ. The people, the men, folk of the community, they saw what's going on, and they see all of these women, they're going crazy for Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, and now they realize that the only way to first of all protect him and also protect the women of their community is to put him in prison, to put him behind bars so that nobody has access to him, no women has access to him, nobody can see him, so they put him in the prison. ثُمَّ بَدَا لَهُمْ, then it emerged to them, بَدَا لَهُمْ, meaning it came into their minds after they saw the signs of the women and their reaction to Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, لَيَسْجُنُنَّهُ, most certainly they would imprison him, حَتَّى حِينٍ, for an unspecified amount of time. Heen basically means a time, but an unallocated time. They just put him behind bars with no chance for parole, as they say in today's terms, right? No chance for parole, no term limits, just put him in prison and just forget about him. This was the attitude that the people had at the time, and obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had other plans which we'll hear about inshallah in next week's lesson. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us tawfiq to understand what is being said and heard.
There is one thing about dua on Prophet Yusuf. من الدعاء كان he said ربي السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه. If he choose السجن, if he said to God, everything